Good morning. My name is Sal DiVincenzo. I am here at the Miller Business Center for another edition of Business Bites Online. And thank you for joining us today for our Favorite Things 2020 Year End Edition. Myself and my colleagues here at the Miller Center came up with a few things that we'd like to just mention to you that you may or may not have heard about, you may not know about, that we feel might be helpful for you in your small business or perhaps personally. We've had a very challenging year. We've all had to deal with things at different degrees and different degrees. Um, and a lot of times when we go through challenging things, we tend to discover things about ourselves and about our businesses and about the way we work. And we find some things that are useful to us, and then we'll take those moving forward. So hopefully, a couple of these things today that we discuss will be helpful for you, or at the very least, just be entertaining to see. So we're going to jump right in. I have a few things that I'd like to show you. We're going to do some screen shares here, so I'm going to jump around a little bit. And we're going to start with one of my first choices, and that is called Feedly. And some of you may or may not know what an RSS feed is. RSS is really simple syndication. And an RSS feed is basically a little link that um, allows you to, and for the lack of a better term, subscribe to a website or a podcast or a blog, pretty much anything online that has an RSS feed is going to feed this out to the world. You're going to be able to subscribe to that, and then there are services and applications that allow you to compile everything together. So, as a small business owner, you might want to follow websites or blogs or news organizations that are in your industry. There are a lot of podcasts out there now. They've grown exponentially since we've gone into this new pandemic world. So you might subscribe to different podcasts about your industry or your business, or just again, like from an entertainment point of view, personal point of view, you might want to subscribe to things. So, so RSS is basically um, the code, the subscription code that goes out that lets folks subscribe to something, and then a RSS application such as the one I'm about to show you, which is called Feedly, which I like using very much, allows you to see everything all in one spot. So I'm just flipping through here. This is a website, rss.com. It's pretty much showing you the top RSS feeds, and you can see there's news organization here, there's podcasts, and what so on and so forth. So what that looks like is this. So this is Feedly. And I got to tell you, it was very difficult for me to get up this morning and not go through my Feedly, because I wanted to show you what it looks like in the morning. Because this is one of the first things that I do in the morning. This is kind of like my newspaper. And you'll see you're able to customize this in a moment. I'll show you how to customize this, but you'll see I have my articles here, and these are coming from all different sources, and they're all being brought together with this one service. Now, what's nice about Feedly is that they do offer a free account, so you do not have to pay for the basic service. And what's also nice about it is that besides having this web-based version, they do have a mobile version, and it's synced. Everything is synced. So when I read something on my mobile device, it gets removed or counted as read on my web page here in my account, and it syncs across all my devices. So I have Feedly on my mobile phone. I have it on my work computer. I have it on my home computer. On my my web browser, I have my iPad. So this way, it's you're reading it across. When you finish reading an article, you swipe it or you mark it as read, so it gets read across the entire your entire devices. Additionally, there are opportunities for you to save an article or even uh, star it, make it your favorite, and that also gets connected as well. So, for example, here on your left-hand side, you'll see I have my all my feeds, and these are things that I've created. So I created a travel folder, and I'm a Disney fan, so I created a Disney folder and Florida shopping and so on and so forth. I have my business. I like food, of course, so I have my food folder, and then of course I have my folder where I have my our podcasts, and I have that all uh, customized here. So if I, for example, for travel, my travel sources, if I click this down arrow, I get my travel sources from Travel Weekly and View from the Wing. They're two travel blogs. For my Disney sources, I have All Ears Disney Parks blog, the official Disney Parks blog, Diz, Mouse Planet, so on and so forth. And this you can do whatever you want here. For business, I have retail a dive. For food, I got brand eating, so on and so forth. I have the library's podcast here. So as long as it has an RSS feed, you'll be able to add it to Feedly. You'll be able to manage it, and you'll be able to read all of those articles and all those web pages or listen to all those podcasts all in one spot. And it really does come in handy rather than going to each of these individual websites. Everything is all centralized here. So for example, we'll just see here, travel. There were 8 articles for travel. So you have, all the articles from today and some yesterday. If you read an article, you click on it, you get a nice little um, kind of a first page introduction, which is inside of Feedly. And then when you click on this link, you'll then be passed off to the actual blog in this case, and you'll be able to read it right there on the website. Let's say this is an article that I want to share with someone. You can share it in many different ways. You can tweet it. You can put it on if you have a WordPress website, you can cross post it there. LinkedIn, you can email it. Facebook, all those those good things. If you have Pocket, which is another app, it's a kind of offline reader app. You can add it to Pocket. Evernote, which we'll talk about in a moment, you can save that right to Evernote. Or in this case, you can click on the read later uh, bookmark icon here and put it in a separate folder to read later. And I do this a lot, for example, for when I see, I follow, you know, things here that are very important that I want to keep, like coupon codes if I'm doing shopping, or if an article about something that's coming up or something that I want to share with someone later on. Uh, you can put it here as well. So it's a nice little feature there as well. So it's a really great way to organize the things that interest you online and on the web, and also via your mobile device as well. And there are really amazing sources here, and you can click on this button and search any topic, and you can see the breakdown here. Feedly's very good about suggesting things. So we'll since we're all here for business, I'll click on business, and you'll see these are um, the different sources. And they do have bundles, which is nice, and that's moderated and curated by Feedly. Or you can just go and follow these different sources here. And what's nice is that it pretty much gives you a forecast of what to expect when you subscribe to a feed. So if I subscribe to the Economist, it's gives you a brief description of the Economist, tells you what different articles are mostly posted there. So this is like the last 3 articles that were posted, tells you how many people follow that feed, and also what to expect per week. So you can see the Economist only posts about 3 articles per week. Entrepreneur posts 153 articles per week. So you're definitely going to see more from Entrepreneur than you are going to see from the Economist. So It really is great. And you can also, of course, you can search here by hashtags, but you can also just type in um, a subject and see what hits with that subject as well. So you get some local things as well. So Long Island Business News, you can see they have 36 articles per week. So if I can also see similar sources too, which is great. So I can hit follow, and it's going to ask me where do I want to put that, and I want to put it in my business folder. So now I'm following Long Island Business News. So I click on that, and you can see these are the last few articles that they posted to to their website. Now, in some cases, some of these websites, some of the articles might be behind a paywall because these are just the feeds. These are the links to those articles. So understand that that's possible that, this is not, you're not technically subscribing for free to some of these articles. You're just getting the link to the article. And it kind of makes you aware of that it's happening. So for example, I'm just going to click on this one, and we'll go to the website. And at this point, you'll find out if whether or not it's, it's locked in this case. It is. Long Island Business News has locked and unlocked articles. So with that in mind, you will understand, how that works. What's nice about this is a web app, so it does have the right click functionality. So I can right click here, say unfollow, remove it, and now it's no longer in that folder. You can organize these folders pretty easily as well, move stuff around, take things out, put them in. So it's really a great feature. They do have something here called Train Leo. It's their AI. So I'm not going to go too deep in it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it does have AI, which helps you link up articles and link up this kind of stuff here. Things that you've been reading. If you read a specific type of article every day for a week or two, it'll start to suggest things that are more relevant to you. So it's a great service. It's called Feedly, Feedly.com. You can use your Google account. You can create an account, or you can use a Google account and link it to your Gmail. It's very easy to sign up. So, and it's free for the basic service that you're seeing here. So feedly.com. And I am looking forward to looking through my feeds later. Now, I very quickly mentioned Evernote, and my colleague Alex Blend, who made this suggestion. This is one of his favorite things this year. We did a program on Evernote, which you should take a look at our website, youtube.com/Miller Business Center, at our channel. Henry Bramwell was here, and he did a great program on Evernote. But just very briefly, it's a great place where you can organize notes, documents, articles, everything, put it all in one spot. You can share it. It really does come in handy uh, if you're a small team and you need to share information. You can come here and you can add notes and to-do lists and anything, websites. It really is a great place to organize. And again, what makes this really beneficial to you, and what makes it very practical, is that you can take this information with you. So there's a mobile app, there's an iPad app, there's a tablet app, there's the web access, and it syncs across all your devices. So you can come here, and if I want to start a meal planner, I can. There's some great templates in here as well. So I can do my meal planner. I can come here and I can change the colors. I can write in for what I'm going to have for breakfast on Sunday morning, so on and so forth. Uh, it really is great. And then you can come here and you can create a shopping list. So you could say, I need bagels. Let me just uncheck that. So I say, I need bagels and I need cream cheese. Okay. And then you can bring this shopping list with you on your mobile device in Evernote. And when you get it, you click on it and it crosses it out for you. You can do a lot of neat stuff with this. It is a text rich, and you can see it's a very rich editor here. So bold, italics, all those fancy things that you make it look pretty. And then again, If I wanted to, one of the most powerful things here is the share button. I can share that with either uh, my colleagues, let them know what I'm having for breakfast every day, or or I can share it with my wife. She's going food shopping. If she has an Evernote account, she'll get that, and then she'll click it off. And as she's shopping, uh, she will be able to. I will be able to see live that she's going through there, sort of like my own Instacart person if I sent her shopping. So so that's another thing. So again, we have a video that you should go take a look at on our YouTube channel. It goes more in depth on this, but really, Alex really loves this. He was showing me some of the great things that he was working on, like his daily tasks. So every day he comes in, he has his daily tasks. He goes through them. Uh, Really works out. And again, these are just templates, but you can just start with a blank note and do whatever you like here. You can even drag files here, which is pretty cool. So if I want to drag this video that I'm going to show you in a little moment, just drag it. Unfortunately, I hit the size limit on that, but I can drag it, drop it, and then I can share it with whoever I want to. So it's a great feature, great service. Evernote. I highly recommend you check that out. Another favorite that Alex wanted me to mention to you this morning is KeePass, which is a open source password safe. Now we're going to talk about security in a moment because it's one of my favorite things this year. But this was pretty interesting. I was unaware of this, so this was something pretty cool that he likes, and he started to use it. And we do have some folks here at the library who use it. So, we have a lot of passwords now, and in the past, uh, it was pretty straightforward and easy for us to create one password for everything, right? I mean, let's face it. I'm sure some of you who are watching now have a password that's the same across multiple sites. It's really not recommended anymore because basically, what happens? One of those sites gets hacked, and now someone can go to other sites and just kind of test the waters, take your username and your password, or your email and your password that you use across, and just try it, and now you're in trouble. Many services highly recommend, and we highly recommend that you have different strong passwords for all your different services. And now think about that for a moment and feel overwhelmed if you have, 20, 30 accounts, 50 accounts. I mean, I personally, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I have over 100 different passwords in my password safe. Um, and I whittled it down a little bit because I closed some accounts. But yes, so it can get out of hand. And there are uh, for pay uh, services out there that you pay for the service. There are some free services if you have, a Samsung device or an iPad or iPhone. One of those services, Android or iOS. They have their own services. I personally use iCloud, which I'm pretty happy with to manage my passwords. But this is an open source and this is cross-platform. It's called KeePass, and you can also download applications that you can use for whatever device you're using to manage that as well. And basically, it is a place where you can save all your passwords and have access to them. So if you're browsing and you need to, you're logging into a website and you forgot your password, you come to KeePass. It has a encrypted safe, for the lack of a better term, a safe where it's going to keep all your passwords, and then you'll be able to look them up and get your passwords in a secure way across all your devices. It also helps you create a strong password. In this case, you can see in the screen, if you're adding a password entry, it'll give you the quality. It'll tell you, is it a good quality password? You can also have that password expire on a certain date if you need, you want to remind yourself to change the password every so often. You can do that. You can see it has a password generator. So if you're going to a website and you don't want to make up a password, you just want the system to generate it for you, you can do that. And you can tell it what the length is. They say your password should be, I think it's 13 or 14 characters or more in order for it to really be strong. So you can add all of these check marks here, and it'll create the password for you, a strong password. Uh, so it's really uh, a cool service, a cool piece of software. It is open source, which means it's free. There's no charge here. The apps that you download to organize these are free as well. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And from a practical standpoint, you know, and this, not to sound morbid or anything like that, but if something happens to you, and you need somebody else to access your information, important information that you may share, this is a great way to keep everything together, and it allows you to have a safe place, and you can share. I forgot to mention this. This is all protected by one PIN or one password. So you just need to remember one password to protect all your passwords and to manage all your passwords. So you give that to your significant other, and say, if I'm, if God forbid I'm in an accident, or if I'm out of town and something happens, or in a practical standpoint, maybe you have a IT person who's managing all this stuff for you in your business, and they get another job and they leave, and now you don't know all the passwords. Maybe they created all the passwords. They can just share this with you, pass it on to you, and now you have all the passwords. So it really is a great thing. And again, we do recommend that you use a password manager, and you have different passwords for all your different services, accounts, and devices, rather than just one password. Even if it is a strong password, all it takes is one breach to get that, and then you're kind of stuck. So that's KeyPass and the password safe, open source password safe. And thank you, Alex, for suggesting that. Now I am going to share a little video with you that was made by my colleague Elizabeth, because she wanted to share one of her favorite things, which is Instagram guides. And hopefully you will be able to hear this audio. So here is Elizabeth. And if you can't hear the audio, please let me know in the chat and we'll try to fix that.
Hello, everybody. Aside from podcasts, one of my favorite things this year were Instagram guides. These were introduced earlier in the year, but limited only to self help and inspirational type Instagram accounts. But in November 2020, Instagram rolled them out to all users. So, Instagram guides give users the ability to include more content, making their posts almost like a blog because they can include text, photos, videos, and additional information. When viewing a guide, users can see posts and videos that the creator has curated and paired with additional information. If you want to learn more about a specific post in a guide, you can tap on the image or video to view the original Instagram post. Users can create guides that focus on places, products, or posts. For example, a post guide can curate a thread of Instagram posts that you've created or saved with custom headlines and commentary. When playing around with Instagram guides, I decided to use this post option to collect all of the individual posts we had done about our Women's Expo exhibitors. And I was able to put all of those 45 exhibitor posts into one place. Now, highlighting them in a guide makes it much easier for us to promote it. It makes it much easier for people to see all of them in one place. And I'm also able to include more information about each exhibitor in the guide. Business Instagram users can use any of these different guides to highlight their products and services, their expertise, and even some of the partners that they work with. If you're an Instagram user, creating this guide will not be hard at all. You're going to visit your profile page, click on the plus in the upper right hand corner, and then you can decide which type of Instagram post you want to create. So you can do a post, a story, or in this case, choose a guide. Once you've chosen guide, you are going to pick which type you want. And again, we discussed a little bit about the different types of guides, but since I'm just telling you about my favorite thing, we're not going to get too deeply into them at this time, but maybe in 2021, we'll have a whole program about it. So followers can find your guides on your Instagram profile page. Right up top next to where they see posts, you can see that there's a little almost newspaper, and that's where they would be able to see your guides. So they've only been available for all Instagram users since November, but they have been shown to increase users' time in the app. So I think it's a safe bet that Instagram's going to want to see more of them in 2021. And from a business standpoint, I think they give the users the opportunity to highlight their products or expertise in an easy to digest format. I'd love to hear what you think about them. Let us know.
And thank you, Elizabeth, for sending that great presentation there on one of your favorite things. And I do want to mention another one of Elizabeth's favorite things is what she used to make that presentation, and it's Canva. So let me go back to my share here so I can really quickly show you Canva. And Elizabeth has become one of our Canva ninjas here at the at the Miller Center. She's fantastic on it. And for those of you who don't know, Canva is an online app and service that does require a fee in some cases. There are some free, simple designs that you can do without having to pay. We here at the library, obviously we do have a subscription because this is basically a daily used service that we use here. But it really does come in handy, especially from a if you're a small business owner who doesn't have a graphic designer in house and doesn't have a marketing department in house, which most of you do not have those things. This is a really great service and a really great resource for you to use. And once again, I do want to mention, besides this being one of Elizabeth's favorites, she did a program on Canva earlier on. In fact, it was our first Business Bites Online that we did when during the lockdown earlier this year. And I recommend that you check it out on our channel. But basically, you have access to all these really great templates, and you can make logos, you can do social media posts, flyers, cards, business cards, YouTube thumbnails. I mean, some of this stuff you don't really, think about until you get to that point. You're like, oh, I did this video about my business, and now they need a thumbnail. I don't want to just have like me on the screen just in one spot. Infographics, there's a resume builder on here, for Facebook covers. I mean, it really is a spectacular resource of some really beautiful, nice looking things. And again, the thing that I wanted to mention here is that Elizabeth did that little presentation that you just saw. She made a video of that slideshow right here in Canva. So if you don't have PowerPoint, for example, if you don't want to pay for PowerPoint, you much rather put your money towards something that does different things such as Canva, this is a great way to go. So for example, I can click on marketing here, and you can see these are all the different marketing templates that you can work on: logos, brochures, business cards, gift certificates, so on and so forth. Let's say you want to make even email headers. I mean, you want to make the top of your email newsletter, gift certificates. That's actually pretty cool. Let me click on gift certificate just to show you how easy it is to do this. So they're going to start you off with some suggestions here. um, let's say you want to do, let's say you're a food organization, you have a food business. uh, you can click on this here, pick your template, and there it is. So it looks really nice. It's got some bananas here. You can move the bananas around, which is pretty cool. They set it up for you. Yes. Lori asks, can you design on Canva and download directly to Instagram? Yes, you can. It's very cool. And that's all done from this button here. And because I'm in a gift card, that the Instagram post is not a choice. But if I was doing an Instagram or a Facebook post or YouTube or anything like that, it'll give me that choice. You can see here, it's actually has because it's a gift card, it's going to be print, but everything here is customizable. The text is customizable, like the amount, let's say, and I don't want to do $100 off. I just want to do $50 off. So I could just change that to a 5. Oh, that's a little too small, a big, so I can move this down here. Let's say I want to move, um, I want to move this up so the 50 shows a little better. They give you that starting point, and then you can move on from there. So I can put my company name here, Sal's Drinks, whatever. Okay. And there you go. And you can add your own photos. You can either upload a photo or use one of their templates. You can add an element. Like, let's say I want to add this teddy bear. Just click on the teddy bear and put the teddy bear wherever I want. Shapes. Now you can see here some of these stickers here are animated because as Lori mentioned, Instagram has all those cool little animated things sometimes on the posts. You can do that. So if I want to do that, I can do that. What's even better is that, let's say I do want to post this to Instagram. I can come here and say resize, and then change it to an Instagram post. It'll automatically format it for me. So I say copy and resize, click on that, and now it's resized it right for Instagram. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool service. And so this is where you would do the share. Let's see. I do believe, does this? Fortunately, Elizabeth's not here. She won't be able to tell me, but I do believe that you can put it directly to Instagram. If not, you can download it in the format and then put it up on Instagram. But I do know that, they do let you go to Facebook, so I can't imagine it must be something that I'm missing. Anyway, great stuff here. And again, it's not just static. It's not just presentations. You can do videos. You can do animated images, so on and so forth. And so it's really great. Of course, they're going to offer you the opportunity to print with one of their print partners. So you don't even have to look for a print house if you don't want to. You could just print through their service. So Canva is really fantastic. And in the past, a lot of my colleagues would come to me. I do have a background in advertising and design, so they would come to me and ask me to help them design flyers or postcards or something like that. And I got to say, I'm out of a job because now that we have Canva, they're doing it all on their own, and the stuff is looking spectacular. So that is one of another one of Elizabeth's favorite things, and and I think it's great too. So that is Canva, canva.com. You can go there and they'll give you some pricing. I think it's pretty reasonable. I don't know exactly. I think because we're a nonprofit, we get nonprofit. I think they have a nonprofit deal, but you can go there and check it out. So I want to talk about one of my favorite things that I was using a lot this year, and that is Statista. And this is a database that we have here at the Miller Business Center. Now we have complete access here at the center. So if you want to access this database, you would come down to the center, log on to one of our computers, and yes, even with the pandemic going on, we do have limited accessibility to our computers here. So you can come in. We socially distance. Everything gets wiped down after everybody uses it. Masks are used 100% of the time that you're here in the building, and you can access one of our machines. We have 30-minute limit. There are increments, so if no one shows up, you can get an extension up to an hour. To access this database in-house and get the full access to all the information here. These are demographics, infographics, dossiers, whole bunch of different information here on different subjects. And what I like about this is that when I was doing some programming over the summer, this was a great place for me to come and do research and then take that information and insert it into my presentation. So for example, I did a couple of programs this summer on podcasting. So I can come here, click on podcasting, do a Statista search, and then get this data. So statistics and facts about podcasting in the US. You can click on this and we get this nice uh, uh, page that has a summary. It shows you the 75% of Americans know about podcasting, 55% of Americans who have ever listened to an audio podcast. The most popular podcast genre in the US in 2018 was music. And then there's a dossier, which is a full PDF report that I can download, or I can download specific statistics and images or PowerPoint slides right from here. So, for example, I can click on podcast providers in the United States and get that chart. And I can take this chart as a PDF. I can even get it as an XLS file if I want to insert it into a spreadsheet and use the data, an image, or again, like I said, I use this to insert directly into my PowerPoints that when I was doing podcasting presentations. So you can see here, Spotify and Apple podcasts are at the top here. There's all different types of information here, and some of this stuff, quite frankly, with everything that's going on, is rather interesting. Their coronavirus data is pretty remarkable. There's stuff here that you might not know about, and you can come here and you could see, data as of 2014 and get that chart and see all. I had no idea that India was so high compared to the rest of the world or Brazil. So you get like a pretty interesting look at other things besides business things as well. The majority of this data, the majority of it is again available with our account. I would say maybe 35% of the data is free and is available to you to access from home. Just go to statista.com. And if there's anything there that says it requires an account to access, then that's when you can come to us and access it for free here at the center. Or if it's like one uh, single page or just something quick that you think we might be able to download for you, we'll be happy to do that for you as well and email out to you. What's nice is it will give you the source, so you have proper citation. They also add the citations in there as well most of the time. So if you're doing a PowerPoint, the citation will be there on the bottom. This is one of my. There's only a few databases that I would think about accessing when I'm not doing work, in the sense that I'm just interested in certain things, and if I have some free time, if I'm on my lunch break, and I just want to take a look at some interesting things. This is one of my I call the Sunday morning databases, where you could just say, oh, it's interesting to see how much money is spent on, apps, how much money people spend on groceries, or, cosmetics or smartphones and so on and so forth. And we actually have a podcast here at besides the Centered on Business podcast, we have the library podcast, and every so often I do trivia episodes with my co-hosts, and I get all the trivia questions from Statista. So it's actually it's a nice feature, and it's a great database, and it's one of my favorite things this year, as well as probably our number one database here at the center that's used is Reference Solutions, formerly Reference USA. I keep going back to this because it is a fantastic database. This is the database that most of our small business owners use to build their customer lists, their marketing lists. They'll come here and they will search for specific types of companies and download their contact information. So it's name, address, telephone number. We don't have email addresses, but most of everything else we have access to. And I want to point out, though, one of my favorite features of Reference USA, which is the map-based search. So very quickly, when you're doing a map-based search on Reference USA, it's very cool because it allows you to visually search an area for specific types of businesses. So if I want to zoom in on our area here, and I do like looking at it this way with the hybrid, and I'll tell you why. Because it's very easy to pick out businesses from space. Okay, you can see, for example, we're just on the edge of the property here of the Center Each Mall here. So if I wanted all the businesses inside the Center Each Mall, it's as simple as me just drawing a polygon around the property. Oops, like that, and there we are. So there's 64 verified records inside the box that I created. And now I can get a listing of all those businesses inside this Center Each Mall area and, around that parking lot and whatnot. Now, if I wanted to, I can continue to go even further deeper into this as well. And this is why it's one of my favorite things, because it's really a powerful tool. Because I don't only have to look for businesses inside my polygon, I can also look for just let's see here, just the managers. Let's see. Just the managers. And there's 13 businesses that have their managers there. Or I can look for just retail, which is probably going to be most of their retail. So just retail, or just the companies inside the Center Each Mall that have more than a certain amount of employees or make more than $1 million a year, that kind of stuff. So it really does come in very handy when you're drilling down and you want to find specific things about those businesses. Besides drawing polygons, you can also draw a radius. People say, I want all the businesses in a 3-mile radius of the mall. You just grab it, do that, and then there's a lot of businesses, aren't there? 4,600 just in this 3 miles across here. Or you want to drive a route. The salesperson wants to drive a route between one spot and another. So I can type that in. And say I just want to do it quarter mile. And there you go, from here to there. And all the businesses inside there, which is 716 businesses in my little route that I drive from this library to our other library. But I just want retail in that area, and then I can break that down again, 251. So a lot of powerful tools inside this database, but this is my favorite. I love the map-based search. All right, I think we have time for really quickly just for a couple more. I mentioned I wanted to mention before I said mention a lot of times there. I wanted to talk to you about security. Specifically, a lot of us are working from home now, and a lot of us are doing things on our home computer. We might not realize what's secure or what's not secure, and uh, who's watching us, who's not watching us, what information is being taken. So I wanted to mention two of my favorite things to keep my information private when I browse the web. The first thing is this search engine, which is DuckDuckGo. It's the alternative. I feel like it's the best alternative from Google. Google makes a lot of money off of how you search and what you search. DuckDuckGo is a much more private search engine. It does not follow what you search. It doesn't store any of your information. They make their money with private ads, and that's it. So, you come here, what does Google know about me? They know a lot about you. Okay. They know a lot about you. So I use DuckDuckGo as my search engine, and you can actually make it your default search engine. I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that in Firefox, but this is pretty much the same for any other browser. You'll just come to the browser preferences or the browser settings. In this case, it's preferences. And if you go to search, there's usually a link here or a setting here for default search engine. So right now, if I were to type in the Firefox box, I would be searching in Google, but I don't want to do that. I want to search in DuckDuckGo. So I use this drop down arrow, and you will see it is a choice. And DuckDuckGo is a choice now across all devices. So if you have a Samsung phone, if you have an iPhone, if you use Safari, if you use Microsoft, if you anything, you can have that. So you click on that. And now, whenever I do a search, you can see it says search with DuckDuckGo or enter address. When I do a search, oops, I just want to do weather, not weather. Okay, search for weather. There you go. They have, weather features in here. It's interesting. DuckDuckGo does use Apple products, Apple services with its search results. So in this case, for the weather, which is the first thing that came up when they typed in weather here for DuckDuckGo, it's using Dark Sky, which is a great app. That's an Apple app, formerly a private app. Now it's an Apple app. If I were to put in an address, the mapping you could see here comes from Apple Maps, so it doesn't come from Google Maps. And it's a great search engine. Car parts. It does everything that Google does, but it doesn't track you. So that's a good thing. Some folks do want a certain level of tracking, believe it or not. They want like search history and stuff like that. You're not really going to get much of that from DuckDuckGo, but when I search, I don't want anybody knowing what I'm doing, and I don't want them to make money off of that. It's primarily the reason why. I don't want them to make money off of me and my searches. I also have on my browser a plugin that I want to mention called Ghostery. It's up here. You can see I've already installed it. And Ghostery is a tracking blocker and an ad blocker. And you can see just on the weather.com homepage, it's blocking 9 advertising trackers. These are all tracking me. These all would have tracked me if I wasn't using Ghostery. Um, Also, the site analytics are being tracked. Um, it's pretty scary to see this kind of stuff and to see who's tracking you, how they're tracking you. Now, obviously, because I'm blocking certain things, some things may not be served to this website. And that is fine because I can always trust this site and pause it. Or if it's something really bad, I can restrict the site as well. So this way, sometimes you get these pop-up sites, you can restrict it so it won't pop up anymore. But Ghostery, for the basic Ghostery service, it is free. And again, it keeps websites from tracking you, from gathering your data, for gathering analytics on you. So it's a good thing. I have one more thing I want to talk about. That hour goes by pretty fast, and it's actually a physical thing. I always like when I do the favorite things. I always like to do the physical things, and I think it's appropriate that I mention it. And it is my favorite face mask. It's my favorite reusable face mask. Very very comfortable. It is Janu, and it's a company that actually makes um, they make scrubs and medical wear for doctors and nurses and whatnot. It's very, very uh, light. It's lightweight, but it's substantial feeling. And it's got multiple, layers here because that's very important with these. So it's got it's the two layers, very well made, um, elastic and whatnot, incredibly comfortable, covers the whole face, reusable. You can put it in the wash, looks nice, comes in a ton of colors, and as much as I would love it with the vaccine now that it's slowly going to be coming out. As much as I would love that, we can just like a switch turn off the mask wearing. I don't think that's going to happen. So you might have a couple more well, a few more months, maybe more, of mask wearing. And if you're looking for a reusable mask, uh, I suggest these. They're actually pretty affordable too. They're about like four or $5 each. You can get like a 5 pack for 25, and like I said, really comfortable. And it's my suggestion. And you'll see Barack Obama wear this. You'll see a lot of people on TV wearing the Janus. So everybody suggests them. So that is my last favorite. I always like to do one physical item favorite, and that's about it. So we have come to the end of Business Bites Online for 2020. Thank you so much. You are our favorites as well. Our patrons, the people who come to see our programs, the folks who go to our YouTube page and watch over 100 hours worth of videos this year. The 3,000, 4,000 folks views that we've seen uh, on there. We greatly appreciate it. We have about 75 hours of videos on YouTube. We thank you so much for watching. We thank you for subscribing. We thank you for attending our programs virtually and being so patient and understanding with everything that's going on. We never closed here at the Miller Center in the sense that when we were home, we were working from home. We were helping our small businesses. We helped in 2020. We helped uh, a hundred over 100 small business owners. I was looking at the statistics yesterday to provide you with some information on that. And yeah, it's amazing how many people we helped because they needed help. And we're here for you. So millerbusinesscenter.org is our website. Please go there. Take a look at our resources. Our membership is free here, no strings attached. Bring your local library card down, sign up for a Miller Business Center account, and join us for what will probably be a very exciting and unique 2021 as we continue down this road, and we're all in this together. So, on behalf of my colleagues here at the Miller Center and everyone here at Middle Country Public Library, I wish you a happy new year and thank you for joining us. And we'll see you very soon. Take care, everyone.